Hi, so Mr. Jason Manford does panto.
I know.
I mean,
first one.
I know. It's the perfect fit. You know, you've got your singing, your acting, your dancing, comedy.
I mean, the dancing. I'm going to put
the old bamboo. Come on.
I mean, I have smashed the old bamboo, but that was a long time ago.
You've even worked with kids before. On what would your kids do?
Yeah.
Why has it taken so long?
I don't know really. I guess just schedule and other things that have been going on. But this was literally last January.
Right.
They rang and said, can we book you now for Christmas, which was really sweet of them. So that was the only way we've been doing it. You know, if they ring in July, I'm already gone. I've already got some on. So it was really lovely to do. And I was supposed to do one during lockdown. We had one booked in there. We were going to come and do Sleeping Beauty in Manchester with Jodie Prenger and Billy Pearce. And then day before rehearsal started, we went into lockdown. So we couldn't do it, which was a real shame. But they said to me, we'd love you to do one. And I've always wanted to do it. I'm a massive panto fan. Bring the kids every year. We go to the Plaza. We come to the Opera House. So to be part of it and be on stage with other people is a real treat.
So is because obviously there's so much, as we've said, that's already in your wheelhouse that you know what you're doing. With it being your first one, is there anything that you're sort of a bit like squeaky bum about?
I'm squeaky bum about the whole thing, if I'm honest, because, you know, for me, I've done, obviously my stand-up, it's just me.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing is, Karen, is that and people don't necessarily understand this with stand-up, is because people say, you're so brave when you get on stage, and I could never do that. And I always say to people, only I know what I'm going to say. So if I mess up or you don't know, because it's only me. No one's got a script. It's not Shakespeare. Everybody knows it off by heart. And there's also nobody else waiting on you to get your line right, so they can do theirs. Whereas with here you have, and again, musical theatre. You know, you often rehearse 6-7 weeks before you actually get on, and then you do a week of previews, and then you go, you know, we're rehearsing for 2 weeks, and then and then we're 3 weeks, doing the show. But I spoke to Ben about it. I said, God, it doesn't seem a long time. He said, to be honest, after 5 days, you've got it in your head, and then you just need an audience.
Yes.
Because that's when panto comes alive.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. And so, obviously, you mentioned your stand-up there. You've been doing that since, is it 17?
17,
yeah. 17, and you've aced the heckle. You've absolutely aced it. Sometimes it's...
Touch wood, they've not won yet.
Yeah, it's genius. You're playing Captain Hook.
Yes.
So obviously you're going to get a bit of grief.
I am.
But it's going to be from kids. How do you master? Because I'm guessing you can't really
can't
use the same techniques.
Can't use the same lines, can I? Well, I could. I don't know how to get out of it, but I don't know. It's going to be weird that being booed. It's been a long time since I was booed. You know, again, touch wood. I think it was Liverpool Docks 2002. So yeah, that's going to be weird. I'm prepared for the boos in the actual show, and I quite like the sort of like shut up, you know what I mean? You can have a bit of that, can't you? I think there's something fun in that. The thing that always gets me, even when I watch other people in pantos, is when the baddie's still getting booed during their bow.
Yes.
And I just go, all right, come on, I'm finished now. It's Jason, so I might have to give it that.
Yeah.
It was me all along. But what's interesting for me is, like, obviously kids are not necessarily my main audience, you know, it's their parents that come and see us on tour, or hopefully I've entertained in other shows. But since doing The Masked Singer and being the hedgehog on that, but I do get a lot of kids sort of asking for photos and stuff, and asking me what the show was like, and the same thing with Starstruck being a sort of big Saturday night show. So it'll be interesting to see what the audience have. But then I overthink everything, you know. But then I often think to myself, well, does any 8-year-old know David Hasselhoff or Priscilla Presley or whoever else has been in these things? They don't really care, do they? They're following the story, and really the person you know off the telly is there to keep the parents entertained. To get through it. But I mean, they're so different these days anyway, these pantos here. This one, honestly, when I saw the plans for it, I just had this image that, you know, I mean, I go see a lot of pantos, but I thought it'll be, you know, 3 weeks, you know, it'll be, but honestly, the costumes are incredible, the music, the set, the special effects. We've got a crocodile that comes out over the audience, and the pirate ship, and, you know, it's me and Ben dress up as mermaids at one point, like, you know, little shells and that. So
as you do.
As you do. So I was really impressed with the level of production that they're
incredible.
At,
So, with the heckling, going back to that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Obviously, you told a story once about when you were doing a stand-up show at the arena and your family came.
Oh, yeah, my
and
parents,
heckled
yeah,
you.
I know.
So, with it being a local show, are they invited and are you prepared?
They are invited, and they'll all be coming. You know, I've had so many messages off family and cousins, and you know, even people I've not seen for years.
Yeah.
From old school friends who are bringing their kids and all that. You know. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I would expect they wouldn't be as hammered as they were when they came to the arena, because I let them have a free bar, which was my mistake. So I would hope not. So hope they might. I think you're more dealing with high on Haribo.
I was going to say, yeah, it's the sugar, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But you know what I love about kids? You know, I've got 6 myself. We did 2 series of What Would Your Kids Do, and obviously I'm doing Children in Need. There's something magical about working with kids. I know people say I don't work with kids and others, but there's something about them that you just don't know what you're going to get, and that's where the real treat is.
Yeah. Well, I was saying before today, I run a drama school, so we bring about 150 kids every year to come and watch it. So we will be there again this year, so we will see you. But yeah, you never know quite what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But as you've said, the production on the Opera House Panto in Manchester is phenomenal. It's a full-scale musical.
Yeah, it is great. And do you know what also I really like about it, admire about it, is that it's obviously the company put it on like all companies, profits are important. But what I love about them, and one of the things that was important to me when they originally asked me to do it, was, can everyone come and see this? Can actually everyone, because you know, there's some pantos in this country are, you know, 60, 70, you know, 80 quid or whatever, you know, who can afford that in a cost of living crisis? It's tough. Some people can, you know, and that's great. Those stores will be filled. But what's great about this, especially with the Palace and the Opera House both doing it actually, which is you can get tickets for 13 quid, you know, and you know, you often look at it and think, oh, they're in the circle. The production values are so big that it don't matter where you sit in the Opera House. It's actually a really intimate theatre, and for 13 quid you'll not see a better show.
Honestly, I'm excited.
I
am excited, and like, so obviously with the musicals, that is obviously something that, you know, from Sweeney to Producers, Curtains.
Yeah, I've done them all.
I saw you in Chitty at the Lowry.
That was good fun. Yeah.
Please tell us you're going to be belting out a few songs.
I have to, don't I?
You've got to.
I've got to put it in the contract. I said I've got to do a couple of songs. Yeah, no, I'll definitely be singing. There's a bit of fun me and Ben have where I'm trying to sing a song and he keeps interrupting, and you know, so I have a little bit of fun with that. But yeah, I can't be in a show and not have a sing song.
Will you get to choose, or is it kind of?
Yeah, no, to be honest, they've been so open about the script, because it's not like you're doing, you know, it's not like they've given you Guys and Dolls, you know, and gone, right, do that.
Yeah.
You know, they're saying, let's have a bit of fun with this, you know, and actually until you get it on its feet and start doing it in front of people, you can't really know what it entails. So yeah, we've had a bit of fun with it. I'd had an idea a long time ago, funnily enough, about Hook. I'd always thought he was quite a misunderstood character for myself. I've always felt a bit sorry for him actually, because I know he's a baddie necessarily, but how's he become a baddie?
Yeah.
You know, he's had his hand chopped off and fed to a crocodile, and he's the baddie. Like, that feels like I think he's been gaslit, to be honest. I think he's been victim blamed. So so we were discussing, like, is there like a Wicked style backstory for Captain Hook?
I like it.
So we played with that a little bit. We've made him. He was one of the Lost Boys at one point. Him and Peter were best friends, you know. And then they fell out, and that's how, you know.
So is this why it's called the Pantomime Adventures of Peter Pan,
rather
than just Peter
exactly
Pan?
So we're not doing Peter Pan.
Yeah.
This is very much a different version, a different idea. So whatever you think of Peter Pan from the cartoons or the books or whatever it is, this is very different.
Accent. Yeah. So obviously at Christmas you're going to be at home.
I know.
Is it going to be your kids and everyone are going to be able to come?
We're big Christmas people. You know, we love it. Like, my dad's birthday's on the 1st of December, so 2nd of December is the start of Christmas. We just do a full month. Saying that, day after Boxing Day, I'm like, get it all out, get that tree down, get it out. It's over as
overload.
Yeah, but no, we love Christmas, and it'll be bit different, you know, and a bit harder just having the one day off, you know, for Christmas Day off. But at the same time, you know, they're not. I think they're 7 o'clock evening performances. You know, so you're sort. And I'm only 20 minutes up the road, so you're on for 9:30ish. It's not like it's a crazy time and stuff. But 2 shows a day, you know, leading up to the Christmas.
You
and then
literally don't stop, and you're in the middle of a stand-up tour now, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got another 30 dates of that
Wow.
left. So yeah, that's another one. So I think I did the Manchester Apollo on the Thursday. Then I'm down to London, St Albans or something like that, Saturday night, and then Sunday turning the Christmas lights on in the village I live in, Bramhall, and then Monday we start rehearsals. So it's
Flipping heck, yeah.
no messing.
No messing.
Yeah.
And I promised my students I would ask this: is the hedgehog going to make an appearance?
I mean, if we could get hold of that costume, I mean, those costumes are like Hollywood level quality. They're just incredible.
Kind of improvise, like get bits of twigs from episodes.
I know, I'd like to. My only worry is there's been 3 series of The Masked Singer, and does everybody remember the Hedgehog?
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Do they?
They do. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to throw that in there into the mix at some point. Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
exciting.
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so
much. Not at all, Karen. Thank you.
I just want to say as well, though. I was obviously at the start of this. It's like it's Jason Manford, and then I was a bit like you told a story about when you met Mickey Rourke and. Doodah on the Jonathan Ross show. It was a bit like, what am I doing here? I was a bit like that before. Like, what am I doing? However, you've made this dead normal.
Good.
So, thank you.
I've got to say, you've done the most research out of everybody who's talked to me today, to be honest. It's been easy.
Thank you. So, thank you ever so much.
No worries.
And we will whoop and cheer you on the 29th.
See you there. See you there.
Cheers. Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
So it's nice to meet you,
and you,
Mr. Ben Nickless. First of all, congratulations on BGT.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that must have been amazing. But obviously, in Manchester, we already know that you're an absolute star because you've been doing the panto for a good few years now, haven't you? You've been coming back to us.
4th year this year.
Yeah. So you're excited to be back?
I am very excited. I can't wait, and working with Jason Manford as well, who's a comedy legend. So
as are you.
Well, that's very nice of you to say, but not like Jason. It's different.
Well, I've got
scale.
a bunch of drama students who would disagree so we've been bringing drama students about 150 every year to the panto.
Thank you for
coming.
coming.
When they saw you on BGT, they're like, "That's the man on the telly." I mean, on the panto, we know him. So we do appreciate you coming back in the Pantomime Adventures of Peter Pan, and you're Smee, aren't you?
I am this year, yeah.
So what can you tell us?
What about Smee?
Well, about the panto, about Smee, about.
Well, the pantomime the story is Peter Pan, but this is the Pantomime Adventures, so it's slightly different. But yeah, I mean, Smee for me is just pretty much the same character I play every year with a different name, and this time I'm a pirate.
You're a pirate.
Yeah.
You are.
You are, my lover. So I won't be talking like that, but yeah. So and then Jason's Captain Hook. So. Yeah. He's my boss, and he's very nasty. I'm not obviously a baddie.
No, you're a goodie.
I'm a goodie. I'm definitely a goodie.
Aww.
So so I'm still playing that stupid, lovable character that I play every year because my acting ability is obviously limited.
Isn't it? He's brilliant, and you do have like a big skill set. So obviously the singing that we saw you do on Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll put a few. Impressions in there as well, and songs.
Well, I was going to say, your impressions and the comedy that you do around it. So, do you get to input ideas and routines?
Yeah. So there's a couple of routines. I can't say, it's so hard doing this because can't say that. Don't say that. But there's a couple of routines that you might recognise from BGT that we're going to put. So yeah, and then obviously there's comedy routines that we're working on now, routines with Jason that, because obviously all our scenes are pretty much going to be together, so it'll be nice just to bounce off Jason as well. I think, we're just going to have such a laugh, and it's going to be who's the one who stops laughing first, that says the line.
Two normal lads together.
Yeah, trying to make each other laugh and corpse, which I think's what the audience want to see as well. They, when they see us having a good time and laughing,
absolutely,
they enjoy it as well. So I don't think, I think it's probably trying to not get told off. Like, can we have a word, you two? Like, all right, you know, you just calm down.
I was going to say, because with the rehearsals, like, obviously I said we've been coming, and you see everyone just having such a ball on stage. How do you get anything done in rehearsals? Seriously.
You know, it's weird because there's, believe it or not, there's a script. And we do rehearse, and we do, you know, like, I think the first week we do take it quite seriously. I get a little bit of freedom where, you know, I put my routines in. Then obviously there's like panto routines that have been done for years, and that's the tradition of pantomime. So then we modernise them maybe and bring them in. But that's the magic of it. Like when you start off on day one, and then when you see it like dress rehearsal, and you're like, wow, what a show this is, and you feel proud of it. And so we just have fun with it. We've got an amazing director as well. Guy Unsworth has directed a couple of the ones that I've done here, and he's great for comedy as well. He likes to give us that bit of freedom. So, you know, and he also looks for the gags as well. If there's any comedy in there that he's like, maybe you could do a little bit more with that. Actually, that's quite funny. Or how about going this way, and helps us on that. So yeah, we've got a really good team. We've got a great cast as well, and you know they're all
it's amazing.
You know, West End performers that come here, and it's a brilliant show. It's like people with pantomime as well. You say I'm doing panto. Some people give you a look as if but it's different league now. It's like
these pantos are full scale
proper musicals. Yeah. But then with comedy, and then like Jason Manford, who's like one of the best comedians in the country. You know, like. You know, we've got just a great cast, a great show. Special effects are incredible. Then you get all the lighting, the band. It's just like a full-on show.
It is.
They
are magical. They are magical. So with the, like you mentioned, the routine, like the traditional panto routines and things like that. Obviously, in the routines, there's kind of this art of perfecting it going wrong, but you've got to have perfected that. So how do you rehearse something that goes wrong? So you've got to get it right, going wrong, to get it wrong, to get it right. How?
That's a great way of putting it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly, neither have I, to be honest.
No, it's they've been going for years, but sometimes it does actually go wrong. Like, because people go, that
was
meant
that
to happen. You're like, no, it wasn't. That is genuine. So sometimes the audience go, no, that was. Yeah. But then there are moments where it's the only time it does happen is pantomime, where it does go wrong, and but then it can go. So like Tuesday night, do you remember that went wrong? Let's keep that in. That was funny, and we'll try and do it again. Sometimes you can't. Something can happen that it's just like that's a one-off. You can't. The timing of that is just impossible to repeat. So but we, you know, it's getting the balance, but. So it can evolve really then, can't it, as things... Yeah. There's some routines that we've done that when you first start, it's like a 2 or 3 minute sketch, and it can be a 5 or 6 minute sketch because you keep adding little bits. Yeah. So, it's just... Oh, fantastic. Just great fun. We just mess about, really, and get paid for it.
With your impressions, so because they're amazing impressions, obviously, but the more than that, there's the comedy that goes with it first. So when you're approaching that, do you kind of think... okay, I'm going to get the voice first, and then I'm going to create the funny script around it? Or do you think, actually, that person's really funny, I can do something with that, I better learn the voice? Which way round do you?
Good question. Don't know, really. There's no, like, where that I go, I will do that first. Yeah. Sometimes you just, like when I did Britain's Got Talent this year, I was like, I've never done an impression of Ant and Dec before. Right. So I was kind of thinking, there's a little bit more about Dec than there is for Ant. So then obviously on the show, I just did Ant's laugh, because that's all I can do. But then people found the fact that all I did was Ant's laugh.
That was
hilarious,
funny. It was, yeah.
So that was, on that, it was by accident. It wasn't because I'm trying to get, just doing Ant's laugh will be funny. It was the fact I could only do Ant's laugh. But then I made it into a routine, But I think sometimes, I mean, Boris is gone now, but Boris was like such an easy target. He just stumbled over his words, and you just like, two, and that's. I remember watching him, and I'm sure he said two about 40 times in a sentence, just because it was just two, say to you is today. It was just like, they don't need to do a gag, because that's what he does, you know. So some people it's just easy because there's something in it that I've spotted, and then sometimes you need the gag to go with it, just because. the impression isn't always enough. You need to give something else.
Yeah. With the kid element of it in Panto, so obviously without giving too much away for anyone who's not seen it, you always do a segment where it's very unscripted. You get kids from the audience up onto the stage, have a little bit of a chat with them.
Yeah.
Has that ever gone horrifically wrong? Like, are there any kind of like really, you know, like heartwarming moments, or any, oh dear Lord, I need to...
I can't remember having one that's gone wrong in like I've had
tears or anything.
Yeah, but not because of me. I think sometimes when a child can get on stage and just be so intimidated when they look out and go, "Oh my God, this is not what I want to do," and then they just cry. So yeah, I've had that a couple of times, but it's not because I've said anything or upset the child, and then I just take them back to because they just don't want to be there. I've had a couple of kids swear on stage before, which is hilarious. But it's like a kid's just I can't obviously repeat on that. No. But I've had a couple of kids swear, and again that's one of those where I'm saying that I don't really corpse. I'm pretty professional, but a kid swearing is quite funny.
Yeah. Yeah,
did take me a bit.
I've had that in some of my classes when they mishear you. So you'll say, "Can you just say this line?" And then they come out with something, and you're like,
"No, I did not say that."
Moving on. Yeah. So, but you do seem to have like this complete and utter natural rapport with children. Is it just through years of experience, or have you got any kind of background?
I think I've done. This is. I can't remember. About 19 pantomime I've done now. So yeah, and you learn the hard way. Kids will tell you if it's funny or not. So
well, they will, yeah.
And I think with my comedy, I've always been a family entertainer. So I always like playing to a family audience, and kids, it's pretty predictable to be fair. Yeah. Falling over, anything that's gonna hurt me or harm me, they'll find funny. Poo jokes.
Oh yeah.
Bogies, all that kind of stuff, slapstick, but they're also quite intelligent as well. I think people, the kids know a lot more than what we think, and there's jokes that they probably shouldn't be getting that are in the pantomime, but they get as well. So, and then there are those jokes, obviously, in the pantomime that are aimed for the adults. So yeah, it's just finding the balance without going over the line. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So. Finally, just what's this last year been like since? Obviously, you've had Panto, and then you come into Panto, and in the middle of that, you've had your Britain's Got Talent. Like,
yeah, and then
I've
just I've just been busy, and then I've just done a summer season in Cromer in Norfolk. So I've been there for 15 weeks. Just finished at the weekend, which was amazing. Having a nice summer by the seaside, and we've had a cracking summer as well.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, so that was great, and then I'm doing a little tour in October around the northwest with Mick Miller, and then I'm doing a few the Warner's hotels throughout November and a little bit in October, and then Panto. Brilliant. So it's been busy. Which has been great because obviously the last couple of years hasn't been amazing. So it's nice to be busy again. Yeah,
definitely, and it's really thoroughly deserved. So honestly, you're a favourite in our drama school, and just sat here talking to you has made me 10 times cooler for my students. So I'm telling you,
send them my love. I can't wait to see you.
We're coming on the 29th of December.
I'm there then as well. Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. We'll look out for you.
Right, I'll wave.
Will you wear a stripy t-shirt?
I would say probably. And a little hat I think I've got this year for me.
Brilliant.
I don't know if I'm Captain Smee or Pirate Smee or something like that. I'm Smee. That's
it. Smee. That's all we need to know. Well, we will whoop and cheer, and thank you ever so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Take care.